So, today I'm reviewing a fragrance from Guerlain, specifically Iris Torrefie, which means roasted iris. So, if you've seen some of my previous videos, you probably know already, iris is one of my favorite fragrance notes. It's just a really nice floral note, a little bit powdery, a little bit sweet. The thing about this that I think I'm really gonna like, roasted iris. Not only is it iris, it's also gonna be kind of this warmer, floral, kind of a toasty fragrance, which is an extra bonus in my book. So I'll open this up. So the only other Guerlain fragrance I've tried so far is Shalimar, which is very, very old, about 100 years old. This is very modern. This came out in 2020, actually 2020, that's when it came out. It's a unisex fragrance. It obviously has notes of iris, since it's in the name, but it also has some very warm notes as well. So I'll put some on. Okay, so the opening, I'll put a little bit more on. The opening, pure iris. It's very, very similar actually to Dior Homme, which is also a very iris forward fragrance. It has that freshness, that kind of dewiness, like you're walking through a garden. However, it makes a departure from that iris note of Dior Homme because of the Torrefie part in the name, the roasted part. This has a very, it has the iris, but then it kind of turns into something a bit more leathery, a bit more smoky. Definitely not super heavy, like if you've ever smelled Shalimar, which has extremely strong smoke and incense notes. Definitely not that strong. This is more of a moderate strength. You could definitely sense it has a certain warmth and heaviness. The main notes that you're going to get here, at least in the top notes, are cardamom, coffee, and bergamot. So coffee is a relatively uncommon note that you might find in fragrances, and it adds a little bit of zest, a little bit of, intrigue to the fragrance. I would say the top notes, the cardamom is probably one of the more noticeable top notes. It's a very spicy, warm note, kind of exotic smelling. Then the bergamot, I would say, is actually very faint. It's not like a really bright, juicy citrus opening. It's kind of just in the background. The coffee is there, but it's kind of blanketed underneath the cardamom a little bit. Then, of course, the middle notes are iris, and then ambrette, also known as musk mallow. So, to be honest, I'm surprised that the iris isn't also in the top notes, because that's kind of the opening I get, but it is in the middle notes. It's very strong. The iris note is very strong. That's really the heart of the whole fragrance, which is not surprising, obviously. And I would say the musk mallow, it is definitely there. It is, especially now the fragrance is starting to develop, it's becoming stronger. Musk mallow is a type of musk, not super strong, not your typical musk, and not animalistic either. Kind of just a slightly lighter but still warm note, which adds a nice kind of layer. Then the base notes are where it gets really interesting. Leather, tea, like green tea I suppose, vanilla, and amber. So the leather is a very noticeable note. It gives it a really prominent sense of warmth, a little bit of rusticness. And again, it's not too heavy. It's not going all out. It's not like a super macho fragrance. Again, this is unisex still. The amber is there. That also adds a little bit of warmth. Now, the tea and the vanilla notes. I would say the tea is noticeable. It's kind of like a little bit of an Earl Grey tea sort of smell like a dark tea, but maybe you splashed some milk into it, you know. Now the vanilla, I don't really get much of that. I'm sure it's there, it's just a very faint note, and I don't think it really contributes too much to the overall kind of aura that this fragrance has. But overall, the strongest notes here are the cardamom, the iris, muskmallow, and then the leather. And it's a very pleasant fragrance. It's really actually the perfect, I guess, choice for a unisex fragrance because it has the feminine notes and it has the masculine notes, and it's perfectly balanced. You know, because sometimes the leather or spices or musk can get a little too heavy, too masculine, too much. Meanwhile, the feminine notes like the iris, typical floral, or the citrus, vanilla, you know, maybe they're too feminine, but here they're really perfectly balanced. So it's a really good unisex option. And I would say that, despite the heavier notes, this is a relatively light fragrance, kind of light, a little bit powdery, kind of a cozy fragrance. So the thing about this, I would say longevity is probably moderate, maybe 5 hours, and projection is pretty good. Still moderate, you know, it won't fill up the room, but it is definitely going to be noticeable to the people around you. And this is a very, very pleasant fragrance. This is, you know, there's no weird notes floating around, there's nothing that might put off someone. This is definitely, I would say, so first of all, Guerlain is a very old, well-established, very luxurious French perfume brand. So basically anything they produce is going to be extremely high quality, well crafted, well thought out, which this is. And I would say this fragrance is probably good for multiple occasions, not just the evening, not just the daytime. This is definitely very good for, you could wear this at casual daytime outings, even to work. You could also wear this during the evening because those heavier notes will complement evening wear. Summertime, wintertime, you know, this is a very versatile fragrance because it mixes the lighter notes with the heavier notes while not creating a product that is too light or too heavy. So really everything that it has is extremely balanced, which is really nice, of course, in my opinion. And as it dries on the skin, it does become a little bit more leathery, but specifically the muskmallow comes out. You really get that. It's a very unique note. It's kind of hard to describe, but it is a type of musk. That's not really animalistic. It's more, again, hard to describe, but it's musky. And then that mixed with the iris, again, balanced. So it's just a good fragrance. And I think most people would probably like it. The only thing I could say is that, I mean, if you don't like iris, obviously you won't like this, but most people, I imagine, do enjoy iris. So other than that, is pretty much what I have to say about this particular fragrance. It's very nice. If you have any opinions or questions about this fragrance, you can always leave those down in the comment section below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.